Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we are exploring an invisible weight that almost everyone carries: silent mental exhaustion. Have you ever looked at your schedule, realized you literally didn't do any physical labor at all, but still felt completely wiped out? Yeah, you definitely aren't alone in that. Let's map out exactly why that happens and reframe how human energy actually works.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever felt exhausted doing absolutely nothing? It almost feels like an accusation when we ask ourselves this, right? You might have spent the entire day just lounging around on the weekend. You didn't run a marathon, but somehow you're just totally drained. It's super frustrating, and it really makes you question your own stamina.
So here is the central paradox of our modern lives. You can have incredibly low physical activity, yet experience intensely high exhaustion. We've all been conditioned to believe that tiredness requires some kind of physical output, like, hitting the gym. But our source material makes it crystal clear. Your brain can become deeply, deeply fatigued, even when your body literally hasn't moved an inch. Because this exhaustion, it's entirely mental.
And it all boils down to this: why am I so tired all the time? Just let that quiet, heavy question sink in for a second. It's a mystery so many of us try to solve while staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. And honestly, answering it requires us to completely rethink what rest actually means.
Section 1. The myth of doing nothing. Let's break down why our traditional understanding of rest is, fundamentally flawed.
So mental exhaustion is defined as a state where your brain becomes deeply tired from constant activity, even while your physical body rests. See, you don't have to be crunching massive spreadsheets to exhaust your brain. Think of your mind like a high-performance engine. Even if the car is parked in the driveway, if you're sitting there revving the engine at 1,000 RPMs, you're eventually going to run out of gas.
And this brilliantly illustrates what that mental revving actually looks like. It usually takes the form of a constant thinking loop. It's the silent worrying. It's replaying that mildly awkward conversation you had 3 days ago. It's drafting work emails in your head while you're supposedly trying to fall asleep. Your mind doesn't just magically rest because your body is sitting still. It's constantly running simulated realities, and that is exactly what steadily drains you.
Section 2. The weight of small decisions. This is the hidden villain actively draining our energy pools every single day.
Because it's not just the big worries, right? It's the micro decisions. Every single day we go through this exhausting sequence, deciding what to do, agonizing over exactly what to say in a super simple text message, and then instantly evaluating what others will think about what we just said. It is a non-stop barrage of cognitive processing. You are literally always on.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is when we quantify this energy use, the reality is staggering. Deliberate action, the tasks you consciously know you are doing, only accounts for a tiny little fraction of your brain's energy. The vast majority of your mental battery is consumed by background processing. It's exactly like a smartphone draining to zero because it has 20 apps refreshing in the background. Your brain is burning fuel at an astonishing rate just to maintain this constant background hum.
Section 3. The silent buildup. Now, let's slow down for a second because this kind of fatigue has a very specific, creeping nature to it.
This exhaustion doesn't just hit you all at once. It builds across a timeline. Think about it. In the morning, you're navigating all those small decisions. By the afternoon, the overthinking kicks in. By the evening, your body is resting on the couch, but your brain is still running absolute laps. Eventually, maybe not today, but a week down the line, you hit silent exhaustion. Burnout builds up silently, day after day, until you finally hit that breaking point.
The source material sums it up perfectly right here. It's not that you're doing nothing, it's that your mind is doing too much. Honestly, just let that reframe how you view your own exhaustion. It's profoundly validating, isn't it?
Section 4. Finding mental quiet. It is time to shift gears from diagnosing this invisible problem to finding some real, actionable relief.
So the crucial point is understanding the difference between physical rest and mental quiet. Physical rest just means stopping movement, sitting on the couch or lying in bed. But as we've just learned, you can be physically resting while mentally sprinting. The real goal here is mental quiet, intentionally slowing the mind down to actually turn off the engine.
Achieving that mental quiet, it requires less noise, less pressure, and actively breaking that constant thinking loop. And you can do this. It means actively curating your environment. Step away from the constant scroll of information. Put some firm boundaries on your availability. Try practicing the art of just observing your thoughts without getting totally tangled up in them.
You literally have to actively create an environment where all that background processing can finally actually power down. Because here is the beautiful, hopeful truth at the end of all this. When your mind slows down, your energy comes back. You aren't permanently broken, and you certainly aren't inexplicably lazy. Your energy is just being routed to the wrong places right now. Clear that mental static, and your natural vitality absolutely will return.
So I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What is your mind really doing right now? Even as we wrap up this explainer, are you entirely here with me? Or is a part of your brain already planning tomorrow, worrying about yesterday, and silently draining your battery? Take a moment today to pause, check the background noise, and give yourself the gift of true mental quiet. Thank you so much for joining me.